Hey people, back here again with another Halo video. So, I was laying in bed earlier and I just so happened to come across this article from CBR by John Dodge. John Dodge? Yeah. His profile picture kind of looks like a soy jack. But there's this article right here, as we see. Basically, he's lamenting the fact that the support for Halo Infinite will be ceasing by what is it? November 18th. Here, they're going to be stop doing support. They're going to stop doing support for Halo Infinite. But why? My question is, what is the purpose of this article? You're telling me that a game with maybe like an active player base of like 2,000 people at max, at like, its most recent peak, you're telling me that people are upset that the game is really going to be like discontinued development? I mean, if anything, right, we're thinking about how Halo Infinite first came out. There was virtually nothing to this game. It had no content. Most of the content that's been brought to this game that was not, armor sets or like cosmetics or whatever, was brought to it by the community. The community has propped this game up and kept it on life support. 343 has done virtually nothing to keep this game alive. And here in this article, John's saying, "Oh yeah, good job. Hey, good job 343 for keeping Halo Infinite alive for what, 4 years, 5 years, however long. It doesn't really matter, right?" And it just begs the question, what was the need for this article? Like, what is truly being celebrated here? The game that came out with no content and offered virtually nothing to the fans. The campaign was a total freaking dud, ends on a cliffhanger. There's no resolution to it whatsoever, and the studio realizes they screwed up so horribly that they have to do a remake of the original game in order to try to, I don't know, do a course correction here, right? Like, what is there to be sad about with Halo Infinite ending? And what's even the purpose of game journalists nowadays anyway? Like, who really? I don't even know how these people are even making money. I really wouldn't be surprised if the majority of these accounts are actually just like bots. Like, there is no John Dodge. It's like some freaking AI typing up these articles. And that's like, and even if there is a real person behind them, it's like, imagine they're just using AI to write their own articles, which, I don't get that from a journalistic perspective. You're letting the machine do your job for you when you could just write it and actually have it be from the heart. And talking about AI, it's, yeah, you can use AI to, fill in, parts. I guess, kind of give you like a better vision for whatever you're trying to do, right? But when your whole entire like substance of whatever thing you're making is entirely AI, there's no soul behind it. That's not your creation. It's just a machine's creation, right? Like, I was telling a friend of mine about the channel and stuff, right? And they suggested to me that I should have AI do the narrating over my videos and just have it be like an AI narration of my voice. And I just looked at him and I was like, are you retarded? Like, what? Like, why the hell would I do that? But going back to the original point here, the game journalists are just completely irrelevant. They're just utterly, completely irrelevant. I don't know it. If you know anyone who actually like reads IGN or like goes to any of the major like game journalist websites to read up on stuff, let me know in the comment section. But I don't know anybody who actually still reads this slop. I mean, the only reason I even know this exists, this article right here exists, is because it showed up on my phone's recommended tab when like you pull down like the one screen or whatever from like the top or whatever. It was in the recommended, and I was like, all right, you know what? It's Halo. I'll bite. I'll take a look at it, and it's just this guy glazing Halo Infinite, saying about how great it was. and how they did so much with it. And it's like, dude, you could not be any more out of touch with what this game realistically was. This game was a giant dud. Like, this game was a giant retcon for, like, basically the last two games they put out, right? And they had no idea where to go with the story. They were like, oh yeah, new enemy or whatever. Not the Banished, what were they called? The Exiled, or... I can't even remember the name of the major enemy in the game. That's how forgettable it was. Yeah, I don't even remember. It's the big gray alien floaty lady thing that you fight at like the end of the game or whatever. Whatever they were called. I legit can't even remember the name of the enemy. The big bad enemy that was supposed to be even worse than the Flood. I honestly, I really can't imagine anything really being worse than the Flood. Like, you know, you have this freaking almost like Lovecraftian space cosmic horror that literally eats and devours everything and is like body horror like times 20 versus the gray alien lady who kind of manipulates matter or something and just kind of has powers or something. I think the body horror, you know, space cosmic stuff is a lot more terrifying than, you know, the enemy you just easily beat at the end of the game, and that's it. I never even beat Halo Infinite. I stopped like I think like halfway through. I just thought it was garbage. I felt like the gameplay loop to it was decent. You know, it was enough to keep you entertained, but like the story was just non-existent. There's no biomes. It was all just Pacific Northwest and just really overrated. I ask like any Bungie era Halo fan what they thought of Halo Infinite, and they'll essentially give you the same kind of sentiment. You know, like you have the player base is divided now between the people who grew up with the Bungie games and then played the 343 ones and know what made Halo what it was, versus the people who grew up with the 343 games and never really bothered to play the Bungie ones and not seeing you know, the dichotomy between the two. That's realistically what you're getting. And a lot of these a lot of the 343 fans resent what made the games good when Bungie was making them, right? They don't like, you know, they don't like the idea of, you know, not having sprint in a game. It's like, oh, it's a modern game, why don't you have sprint? And it's like, well, because the original Halo was entirely based upon you pretty much having like one set kind of like movement speed here, like on foot, you know, being able to move and shoot, you know. It's just, it wasn't something that was a part of Halo. But going back to the article here, Halo Infinite arrived in 2021 to largely rave reviews from critics. Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna press exit down on that one. It's yeah, and yeah, he's like glazing it for being semi-open world, and it's like, dude, like look at Halo 1. You had all these different types of like biomes in it. Like you had like snow, desert, you know, swamp. There's like so many different settings for it. And like every level was different. Yeah, sure, they reused some of the levels later on in the game, but then again, like there's still like a different twist on it versus, oh, giant open Far Cry world, go save the Marines, which don't really do anything, and yeah, it doesn't really go anywhere. But he talks about here in the article how the whole team's going to be abandoning development of or maintenance of this game to be moving on to campaign evolved. And yeah, I just I don't know, man. 343 has just learned absolutely nothing developing Halo, and they've had it longer than Bungie. Like this franchise is cooked, man. Like can we just like get a petition going to just end Halo? Just let it rest. Like it's over, man. Like come on, dude. Like it's so Jover. Yeah, and you can read like the last like paragraph here. It talks about this will be the first Halo title that's going to be coming to like PS5 or PlayStation, like outside of like PC. in Xbox, and that should really tell you like how much of a broader audience that Halo's trying to go for at this point. And it's like, yeah, I get it, you want to make money and appeal to as many people as possible, but how much of the soul are you willing to go and sell in order to gain you know, monetary value? I don't know, man. But yeah, this franchise is hella dead, dude. Can we just end it, please? Just I don't want to see more videos of Sprint and Halo, and just they're just gonna ride the whole remake all the original Halos from Bungie and add in a bunch of retcons and correct it to the 343 lore. That's all it's gonna be. It's just gonna be trash. Like, they can't make anything new or original anymore. So, yeah. Anyway, Halo's cooked. Hope you guys enjoy the video. I will catch you. Actually, I was gonna say I'm currently working on the next review right now, and I'm still gathering footage for it, but I think you guys are gonna like it. So, anyways, I will see you on the next video. Catch you later.
Subscribe to Based Oscar, or else there will be a self-defense situation.